It's Monday, the 6th of December 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Morning, Michael.
Okay, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Here we go. Story number 1, Sean. It's really a question. What now for the housing market in Australia? It's really the big unknown for financial markets and homeowners in 2022.
Sure is. No one I've spoken to is talking about as good a year in 2022 as we've had this year. Mind you, 12 months ago, no one expected what happened this year. The market is coming off the boil. We saw that again over the weekend. There were more than 4,100 auctions nationally, according to CoreLogic, and the preliminary national clearance rate fell below 70%. We found out last week that Brisbane and Adelaide are absolutely flying at the moment, with monthly price rises of 2.5% or more. Canberra and Hobart are strong, but not quite as strong. Sydney and Melbourne have really come off the boil, though prices are at least still rising. In Perth, prices are up a bit, while in Darwin, they're actually started to go backwards. If the last couple of weeks continue the most recent trends, 2021 will be remembered as the year in which Hobart home prices did best, up around 28%, followed by Brisbane, Sydney and Canberra, all around 25%, then Adelaide, then Melbourne, and then Perth. For the next 12 months, prices will rise. Everyone seems to agree on that, but nowhere near the same pace. It seems 5 to 7% is the popular forecast for price increases, and then they'll go backwards in 2023. 5 to 7% in 2022 ain't bad though, and if you own the house and you live in it, it's tax-free, probably better than the share market.
Yeah, okay. Story number 2 this morning, Sean. Some big falls in both the Aussie dollar and in Bitcoin. What's going on?
Well, the Aussie dollar fell below 70 US cents for the first time since July last year. The US Fed talking about lifting interest rates, along with the Reserve Bank of Australia being determined to keep rates on hold until 2024, is putting pressure on the currency. Add in Omicron fears about global economies slowing, which would hurt demand for commodities, and the local unit is under pressure. Michael, this isn't a bad thing though. A weaker dollar makes Australia more competitive on the global stage. Of course, it's not so good if you're travelling overseas. Another consideration for investors who have put money into overseas assets and haven't insured against exchange rate moves, otherwise known as hedging, is the currency benefit on their investments. So, if you invested 6 months ago in US shares when the Aussie dollar was worth 78 US cents, didn't hedge, even without any change to asset prices, you've already made 10%. The other big move over the weekend was Bitcoin. It has tumbled in recent sessions. It's now trading below 50,000 US dollars a unit. That's its lowest level in 2 months. I wish I could say sensible about why Bitcoin is trading at that, but there's never anything sensible to say about why Bitcoin is trading wherever it is.
Yeah, it certainly is volatile. That's story number 2. Story 3, Sean, is actually some really good news for families with young kids. Children aged under 12 years old should be able to get their first COVID vaccines from January.
Yes, it's exciting. The Pfizer vaccine was given approval by the Therapeutic Goods Administration yesterday and now needs to get the green light from the Expert Vaccine Advice Panel. Health Minister Greg Hunt hopes to roll out the jab from 10 January. Now, the vaccine given to children aged 5 to 11 is about a third of the dose that adults get, and it has a 91% effectiveness rate. Children make up 20% of the population in Australia, so when included in the data, Australia's national vaccination rate is actually 73%, which is still higher than developed countries. They average 68%. Around the world, the vaccination figure is 47%, with poor countries really lagging. Just one other thing, Michael, Parliament House will be closed to the public after a staffer of Greens leader Adam Bant tested positive for COVID-19.
Okay, story number 4, Sean. The Sown Australia conference was held on Friday. It probably doesn't mean a lot to people who aren't inside the financial industry, but on this particular occasion, the headline act was a 97-year-old with some serious investment credibility.
Yes, the Sown conference is a serious-hitting conference. Charlie Munger was there. He's vice chair of Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett's long-term confidant. I say there, he was there virtually. If you want some global stock tips, look up the Sown conference. There's plenty of them. Mr. Munger was the headline act. He said Australians should be pretty damn proud of themselves as one of the few countries that had made democracy work. He criticised cryptocurrencies, praised China for banning them, and he said the crypto industry was self-serving. He also said today's markets were wildly overvalued in some places, and things were even crazier than the dot-com boom. He's a fan of President Xi Jinping and said Australia could be in a constructive position to encourage better relations between China and the US. And in terms of stock tips, he's a very big fan of retailer Costco, which is traded on Wall Street, of course. He's also a big backer of renewable energy, particularly wind and solar power.
All right, story number 5, just a quick one. What has Donald Trump done?
Well, Michael, you remember Donald Trump's social media startup called Truth? The former president is launching it to hit back at those platforms that have banned him, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Well, over the weekend, Trump media said they've raised $1 billion and will go public. That man still has many, many supporters prepared to give him money. Amazing.
Yeah, certainly is. All right, that's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Monday, the 6th of December, 2021. Remember to hit follow on the podcast, and you can always find more info at fearandgreed.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fear and Greed Business Headlines. Have a great day.